Hello ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between, and none of the above, welcome back to We Love Your Deck. For today's archetypal analysis, we'll be going over Vampire Kindred. With over 48,000 decks according to EDHREC, vampires originally released in alpha on the card Sengir Vampire. Vampires are deemed one of the characteristic creature types of black along with zombies. One of vampires' characteristics is their hunger for blood or life force, so they have a few ways to signify this, such as having counters put on them as they destroy any sentient creatures and send them to the graveyard, or through the unofficially named bloodied mechanic that will give some of them bonuses if an opponent has 10 or less life. Though vampires are predominantly in black and are seen in all colors now, they are secondarily in red from the vampires of Innistrad and tertiarily in white from the vampires of Ravnica and Ixalan. Vampires have their pick of commanders, however, notable ones include Edgar Markov, with his eminence /ability to make a vampire token each time you cast a vampire spell, meaning even before he leaves the command zone, you'll have an army ready for him to spread +1/+1 counters over when he attacks. Then there's Clavileño, first of the Blessed, who will make a vampire into a demon each time you attack, and when that vampire dies replaces itself with a vampire demon token. If you'd like to play a theft deck, Evelyn, the Covetous will exile a card from the top of each opponent's library each time they or another vampire enters under your control that you can later play from exile using any kind of mana. With much of vampires' endgame strategies being combat focused, they'll need a Lord of Sorts to win with, like Bloodlord of Vosgoth, which gives your vampire spells Bloodlust 3, having them enter with 3/+1/+1 counters if an opponent was dealt damage this turn. And with them needing to be aggressive, you'll want to give your vampires keywords, like with Crossway Troublemakers, giving them both lifelink and death touch on top of drawing you a card if a vampire dies. Though not starting off as a Lord, Bloodline Keeper can be transformed into Lord of Lineage if you control enough vampires, with both sides also making vampire tokens. Speaking of tokens, vampires are quite capable of making tokens, like through Charismatic Conqueror as a hate bear that will either have your opponent tap their creatures and artifacts as they enter or create a token. Though it won't make tokens immediately, if Edgar, Charmed Groom, transforms into Edgar Markov's Coffin, it will make you a token until it turns back into Edgar. Or if you want a whole coven of vampires all at once, March of the Canonized will make as many vampires for as much mana as you pay into it, as well as also making a vampire demon if your devotion, white and black, is 7 or more. And that sums up vampires as an archetype fairly well, so we're going to end it there. Since you got this far, why not give me a follow? And as always, I'll catch you on the flip side, Planeswalkers. And remember, be good to each other.